You stare at the phone screen. The tracking app glows in the dark, a vertical list of every coffee, every bus ticket, and every small Amazon purchase from the week. You tap the screen. A checkmark appears next to the latest entry. You scroll back, reviewing the past 7 days of meticulously logged data. It looks comprehensive. It looks organized. A surge of pride rises as you verify the final totals. You have captured every cent, every transaction, every movement of capital. You slide the phone into your pocket, convinced that this granular detail is the foundation of wealth. You are playing the part of a financial master, watching the ledger grow with every line item. The screen locks, reflecting your face in the glass. Everything is logged. Everything is accounted for. You feel the weight of the phone, a small, black rectangle that represents your entire grip on your future. You've spent hours inputting these figures, turning your daily life into a spreadsheet. The system is humming. The data is perfect. You are in total command of your finances. You open the banking app to confirm the numbers. You expect the balance to match the ledger you just perfected. It does not. The screen displays a figure $200 lower than your calculation. You blink. You refresh the page, waiting for the server to catch up. Nothing changes. You scan the entries one by one, comparing your manual log against the bank records. Every coffee, every ticket, every purchase is accounted for in your list, but the bank balance remains a mystery. The $200 void stares back at you. You close the app, but the number stays burned into your vision. You drop your phone onto the desk. Your hands go to your face, rubbing your temples until the skin stings. The pride from moments ago evaporates, replaced by a heavy, hollow heat in your chest. You stare at the floor, convinced that math is a language you will never speak. You tell yourself that you are just not a numbers person. You accept the failure as your own, turning the phone face down to hide the evidence of your incompetence. You sit in the silence, letting the frustration settle. Then, a thought nudges the edges of your mind. Is it really you? You look at the app again. It tracks, it logs, but it never remembers. It is stateless, like a browser tab that wipes itself clean the moment you close it. This application captures facts, but sheds the context of who you are. It treats every day as a blank slate. It does not know your goals, your history, or your patterns. It is not that you lack the skill to handle numbers. It is that your system lacks the architecture to handle your life. The realization hits with the force of a physical impact. You are not failing at math. You are failing to account for a tool that is fundamentally blind to your existence. A strange curiosity replaces the heavy heat in your chest. If the system is the bottleneck, then the system is what needs to change. You lean forward, eyes locked on the screen, no longer looking for your mistakes, but looking for the flaw in the design itself. The game has changed. The day does not end when you leave the office. It follows you home, heavy and persistent. You have spent 10 hours navigating meetings, clearing backlogs, and managing output. Your eyes feel like they are lined with sand. Every muscle in your back aches from the rigidity of the chair. You walk through your front door and drop your bag on the floor. It lands with a hollow thud that echoes in the quiet room. You want nothing more than to sink into the couch and disconnect. But then, you remember the ledger, the manual tracking, the spreadsheet that demands your attention every single night. You look at the laptop sitting on your desk. The screen is dark, but you can feel it waiting. The thought of opening that file, of typing in every transaction, of reconciling every cent, triggers a sharp physical wave of dread. It feels like a second job, one that pays nothing and drains the last of your energy. You stand in the center of your living room, paralyzed by the sheer weight of this requirement. You are too tired to be an accountant. You are too exhausted to pretend that this manual labor is a path to freedom. You reach for your phone, desperate for a shortcut, any strategy that promises clarity. You tap the search bar. The floodgates open. Thousands of stock tickers scroll past your eyes like ticker tape in a storm. You click one video, then another. A dozen experts argue over high-dividend ETFs. 100 more shout about growth stocks. You try to absorb it all, but the information does not organize. It just piles up. Your mind starts to skip. You watch a chart spike, then crash, then spike again, and suddenly you cannot tell if you are looking at a path to wealth or a cliff edge. Every opinion cancels out the last. The sheer scale of the global market begins to press in on you. You realize that for every choice you consider, there are 10,000 others you are ignoring. The options become a weight. The data becomes a blur. You feel your heartbeat quicken, not from excitement, but from a growing, quiet panic. You are one person, sitting in a room, trying to make sense of a machine that is millions of times larger than you. The noise is absolute. The logic is buried. You stare at the screen until the text blurs into static, and for the first time, you feel completely, terrifyingly small. Late at night, you find it, a video on high-dividend ETFs. The speaker is confident, the charts are clean, and for 20 minutes, the path to wealth feels simple. You press play, nodding along, feeling a genuine spark of momentum. You save the link. You go to bed believing you have finally cracked the code. Then, the alarm rings. You wake up in the gray light of morning. The room is cold. You reach for your phone, tapping the icon for that saved video, but the momentum is gone. The advice that seemed so vital last night now feels like a foreign language. It does not fit your life. It does not account for your salary, your risk tolerance, or your specific goals. You stare at the screen, trying to bridge the gap between that midnight hope and your current reality, but the connection is severed. This is the stateless investment crisis. Your brain consumed the data, processed it, and then wiped the slate clean. There is no persistent memory. There is no context. You are back at zero, left with nothing but the lingering, bitter taste of a solution that refused to stick. You are not failing because you lack intelligence. You are failing because your current system forgets you the moment you close the app. You are currently drifting in an ocean of raw information without a single anchor. Every piece of advice you encounter is a heavy stone, dragging you deeper into the abyss of confusion. You try to grasp these fragments, a ticker symbol here, a tax strategy there, but they slip through your fingers like water. Your brain has become a sieve. It lacks the persistent context required to make sense of your own trajectory. You are drowning in data, yet you are starving for a system that actually remembers who you are. Without a dedicated memory layer, your efforts to build wealth are being washed away by the tide of incoming noise. The market does not care if you lose your way, and the apps you rely on are designed to track transactions, not to guard your long-term goals. You need a life jacket. You need a structure that holds your intentions steady while the world fluctuates around you. You are exhausted from the constant, futile effort of trying to hold it all in your head. The current pace is unsustainable. You are floating toward a cliff, and the only thing missing between you and stability is a persistent, organized system that acts as your financial memory. It is time to stop the leak. We end this now. The cycle of passive consumption stops at this exact moment. You are no longer a victim of the algorithm, waiting for the next piece of advice to save you. You are becoming the architect. Stand up. Close the tabs that lead nowhere. Stop treating your financial life like a spectator sport where you only watch the scoreboard. You are shifting gears from a passive consumer to an active agent. The transition is not about willpower. It is about infrastructure. You are going to build your automated investment brain. Feel the weight of the change. You are choosing to stop reacting to the market and start dictating the terms. This is the moment you reclaim your agency. You are taking the chaos, the noise, and the endless stream of data, and you are forcing them into a rigid, persistent structure. You are the one setting the rules now. You are the one defining the goal. Every action you take from here forward serves a specific, calculated purpose. You are moving out of the fog. You are stepping into the command center. This is not a suggestion. This is a total reconstruction of how you manage your capital and your future. Now, you define the perimeter. You cannot build a brain that ignores your reality. Start with your career. If you work in semiconductors, your income is already tied to the tech cycle. Every paycheck, every bonus, every promotion is a bet on that specific sector. If your investment portfolio also leans heavily into tech, you are not diversifying. You are doubling down on a single point of failure. You are creating a trap where a market shift in your industry hits your salary and your savings simultaneously. This is the first constraint for your system. You must tell your AI, I work in semiconductors. Do not suggest tech-heavy assets that increase my redundant risk. You are forcing the machine to recognize your personal exposure. This creates a high-stakes firewall. The AI now monitors the sector, not to chase gains, but to protect you from total collapse. It filters out the noise that doesn't fit your profile. You are no longer guessing at balance. You are inputting the hard facts of your professional life into the system. The AI acknowledges the danger. It flags the volatility. It holds the line so you do not have to. You are building a defense, layer by layer, starting with the most obvious threat to your wealth. Now, pivot to the objective. You need a North Star that cuts through the market noise. Set your target, 70,000 NTD in monthly dividends within 2 years. This is not a dream. It is a mathematical requirement. You feed this number into your system as a primary constraint. From this second forward, the AI treats every financial headline, every earnings report, and every sector trend as a variable to be tested against this specific goal. It ignores the market chatter that does not move the needle toward your 70,000. If a stock does not yield the necessary dividend growth to hit your timeline, the AI strips it away. It discards the hype. It discards the trends that look promising but deliver zero impact to your monthly cash flow. You are forcing the machine to be ruthless. It scans thousands of data points daily, but it only alerts you to the ones that bridge the gap to your target. You watch the screen. The noise fades. The irrelevant opinions vanish. You are left with a clean, prioritized list of assets that align with your math. Your goals are no longer abstract hopes. They are the filter through which the entire financial world is now processed. The system is locked on. The target is set. You might think this requires a degree in computer science or a team of developers. You are wrong. The barrier to entry has collapsed. You do not need to write a single line of code to build this financial brain. You use existing intelligence layers. Open Claude. Use make.com. These are not tools for programmers. They are drag-and-drop interfaces for logic. You treat them like a digital assistant that never sleeps. You provide the intent, and these platforms handle the architecture. Think of it as connecting two pipes, one for data, one for your strategy. Once you link them, the system runs itself. You spend 10 minutes setting the rules, and the machines do the heavy lifting for the next decade. There is a thrill in this realization. You are suddenly capable of building a sophisticated, automated engine that functions with the precision of a hedge fund, yet you manage it from your browser. You are not a coder, but you are now a system designer. You take command of these platforms, move the blocks, and watch the automation take hold. The technical hurdle is gone. All that remains is the decision to start. You have the power. You have the tools. You only need to connect them. Now, you define the intelligence. You open the interface and type the command that anchors your wealth. You tell the AI, "You are my senior analyst. You do not offer generic advice. You hold my financial history, my goals, and my risk tolerance as your primary context." This is the moment the machine stops being a chatbot and starts being your partner. You are not asking it to guess. You are assigning it a role. It accepts the parameters. It learns your standard of performance. From this point on, every data point it processes is filtered through the lens of a professional advisor who knows your specific financial DNA. You feel the weight lift. You no longer have to remember every transaction or every market shift. The AI keeps the ledger. It tracks the nuance. It provides the professional backup you have lacked until now. You have just installed a persistent memory layer into your financial life. The system is live. It is waiting for your next instruction. You have successfully graduated from manual tracking to managing a sophisticated, automated brain that works for you every single second. Now, you move from philosophy to precision. The AI needs the map of your portfolio to act with authority. You feed it the hard data. You input your target assets, the heavy hitters like 2,330 and 00850. You detail your tax bracket at 20%. These are not just numbers. They are the guardrails of your financial life. When you type these into the prompt, the abstract plan suddenly turns concrete. The AI stops dealing in possibilities and starts calculating probabilities based on your reality. You specify your long-term capital gain strategy. You define the weightings. You are no longer guessing how much tax you will owe or where your money is allocated. You are defining the exact environment in which your wealth will grow. The machine cross-references your current holdings against your stated goals in real time. It is a precise, surgical alignment. Every future calculation will now be filtered through this specific, granular context. You have moved past the theoretical. You have given your financial brain the data it needs to protect your capital. The blueprint is complete. The system is locked into your specific reality. The clock hits 5 p.m. on Friday. The work week ends, but your financial brain just wakes up. You do not log into a dozen sites to check your net worth. You do not hunt for news. Instead, the system triggers the first automated scan. The screen refreshes. You watch the AI aggregate the latest shifts in the packaging sector, instantly discarding the noise that does not matter to your career. It cross-references these industry moves against your 70,000 NTD dividend goal. It calculates the impact. It checks your portfolio alignment. A single, concise report appears. No spreadsheet chaos. No manual calculation. Just the facts you need to make your next move. The anxiety that usually plagues your weekend evaporates. You see the progress clearly, mapped out in black and white. For the first time, you are not chasing data. You are controlling it. The system has done the heavy lifting, stripping away the clutter and leaving you with the pure signal of your wealth. You close the laptop. The relief is physical. You have traded hours of manual tracking for 5 minutes of high-level oversight. Your financial future is no longer a mystery. It is a managed process. The relief you feel is not just about one report. It is the realization that your brain is no longer a temporary tab that wipes itself clean every night. You have built a permanent memory layer for your wealth. Before, you held every Amazon purchase, every bus ticket, and every dividend fluctuation in your head. You were the storage. You were the processor. You were the bottleneck. Now, the system holds the context. It remembers your goals when you are too exhausted from the office to care. It keeps the long-term vision alive while you sleep. The weight of financial anxiety, that constant, low-grade pulse of worry whenever you opened your bank app, begins to lift. It is replaced by the quiet confidence of a system that never forgets. You no longer need to be a numbers person because the numbers are no longer yours to carry. Every piece of data now flows into a structure that understands your career, your tax bracket, and your target of 70,000 NTD. You are finished with the mental clutter. The system is the memory. You are the architect. For the first time in years, you look at your phone screen and see a tool, not a judge. The anxiety is gone, replaced by the calm, mechanical certainty of a process that works regardless of your mood. Memory is only half the battle. You have built the foundation, but wealth requires protection against the unexpected. Markets do not care about your goals. They punish hesitation. Professionals lose everything when they succumb to panic during a sudden downturn. You will not. You set the guardrails now. When the market turns red and the news feeds scream for action, your system does not blink. It registers the volatility immediately. It compares the current price action against your predefined risk thresholds. While your instinct tells you to sell or freeze, the system executes the plan you wrote while you were calm. It acts as a cold, objective buffer against your own impulses. It separates your capital from your fear. You no longer need to watch the charts every hour because the system is watching them for you. If the market shifts, the AI does not panic. It rebalances. It maintains your position in 00850 while the world around it fluctuates. You have successfully automated the defense of your portfolio. The safety net is active. The system is ready to hold the line while you focus on your career. You are moving from a reactive participant to a structured, disciplined owner. Success in the market is not about predicting the future, but about defining the boundaries of your tolerance today. You must set specific technical thresholds. You instruct the AI to monitor the delta of your portfolio against your 70,000 NTD monthly dividend target. These are your red lines. When the market enters a period of intense volatility, the noise level spikes. News outlets flood your feed with warnings. Most investors react to this signal by liquidating assets at the bottom. Your system does the opposite. It recognizes the breach of your threshold, flags the movement, and waits for your pre-authorized rebalance command. It does not feel the sting of a falling portfolio. It does not fear the red numbers on the screen. It simply executes the logic you defined while you were calm and rational. By setting these triggers, you build a wall between your capital and your adrenaline. You stop trying to time the market and start relying on the cold mathematical discipline of your own design. The buffer is live. Every alert you receive is now a confirmation of your strategy, not a call for an emotional reaction. You have mastered the art of staying still while the market creates chaos. The final threat to your wealth is not the market, but your own impulse to overmanage. There will be days when the screen glows red, and your fingers itch to execute a trade that violates your long-term plan. You might feel the urge to pull out, to switch sectors, or to chase a sudden trend. Your AI is the guardrail that stops you. If you attempt an impulsive, off-strategy trade, the system pauses. It generates a summary of your original goals and asks for a verification of the trade against your 70,000 NTD target. It forces a delay. It demands a reason. It turns a split-second mistake into a calculated decision. This friction is your greatest asset. It strips the adrenaline out of the process, leaving only the raw data of your strategy. By the time you review the system's feedback, the urge to panic has passed. You are no longer at the mercy of your own reactive biology. The architecture you built holds firm. It protects you from yourself. Your portfolio is now an ironclad structure, locked against the chaos of human sentiment. You have successfully externalized your discipline, ensuring that your wealth grows through consistent, rational execution regardless of your mood. You are the architect, and the system is your silent, unshakable sentinel. Sunday arrives. The week of office labor is behind you. Instead of drowning in spreadsheets or chasing market news, you open a single page. This is your weekly asset health report. It is clean, it is concise. It is entirely focused on the delta between where you are and your destination. You see the progress bar for your 00850 holdings. It moves forward, steady, and visible. You confirm your automatic deductions. You check the alignment of your assets against your defined constraints. There is no guesswork here. No complex calculations that require you to play the role of a data analyst. You spend exactly 5 minutes reviewing this summary. 5 minutes to verify that the system is working, that the capital is moving, and that your path to 70,000 NTD in monthly dividends remains clear. The frustration of past manual tracking dissolves. You are no longer guessing if you are on track. You know. You have replaced the stress of uncertainty with the quiet confidence of a progress bar that never lies. You close the laptop, the screen goes dark, and you walk away. The system continues to function while you rest. You have reclaimed your Sunday, your focus, and your time. Investment should not be your second job. It is the tool that replaces your first. By spending these final 10 minutes setting your guardrails, you cross a threshold. You are no longer just an employee working for a paycheck. You are the architect of a system that grows while you sleep. Stop being a manual tracker. Become a system designer. The data is under your command. The memory layer is active. You hold the blueprint for your own financial independence. This week, you build the brain that manages your wealth so you can focus on your life. If you want the personal prompts to construct this system, comment "brain" below. I will send the setup directly to you. Take control of your data. Take control of your memory. Take control of your future. The system is ready. The design is yours. Start building now.